Okay, we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and we have an exciting show for all of you guys tonight. So I guess what we're going to start off with is the revolving door of midfield targets. Three, really, that we will be talking about in tonight's show. They're in tonight's poll as well. If you guys want to get voting on that, let me know your preferred option for that midfield signing. It does look like we're going to get one. I get it. I would like two, but one, I think, should suffice. So three main candidates. As we know, Manuel Ugarte is of big interest to Manchester United. We have agreed personal terms with the player. Does look like PSG are being problematic over a deal. Might be difficult to get done, especially when they're looking 70 million euros. United's not willing to go over around 40, 45. So that's not one dead and buried, but certainly one that a compromise is going to have to be made. And it's a difficult deal to do, I guess. Obviously, PSG trying to sign João Neves, that definitely does help Manchester United's case because they need to balance that book out. But ordinarily, you know, they're not a team that really needs to sell too much, I would assume. But it is an interesting one to keep note of. I think it's furthest along, to be honest. I think he is probably our main candidate, but we do have not one, but two other candidates who have come out in the last couple of days, and one of them only really this afternoon. So I'm excited to talk about those. Of course, it's Martin Zubimendi, and of course, it is also Youssoufa Fofana. So anyone who watched the Euros final would have seen when Zubimendi came on, the talk was that Spain were going to lose that match because Rodri had gone off. Zubimendi had a very good second half in that match, and he's a very good player, really good dictator of the play, very technically secure on the ball. Does some things better than Ugarte in terms of winning those aerials, in terms of his ball retention, the way he can move the ball as well. Good player, but I think they're very different. You know, I do think they're very different. I've never been personally overly enthused on Manuel Ugarte, and look, it's nothing against the guy. It's just when we were going for Xerxes, I thought, yeah, absolutely, I can see the vision here. I can see what he's going to bring. I can see what he's going to offer to us. When we went for Euro, I could see, yeah, absolutely, I see the vision. I know exactly what this guy's going to bring to us. I know exactly what we see in him. I'm not too sure about Manuel Ugarte because he does look like he's just going to compound those issues we had last year, where we needed that holding presence, and instead we had Casemiro, for instance, deciding that he would be box to box, deciding that he would be jumping and lunging into tackles. And that kind of left us overexposed in the middle of the pitch. Now, obviously, there's different issues that also contribute to that. The press, the low back line, not committing your fullbacks to the press leaves us exposed in the middle of the pitch. We know this, but I don't know. I'm not as sold on Ugarte as I am the other two that we've brought in so far. It's no knock against him. If he does come in, you know, obviously I'm going to give him a good chance. Obviously, we wait and see for at least a season before making it any real kind of decisions in terms of what we should be doing or what we ought to do or whatever. But I do think Fofana is also an interesting one. I've got two guys down below in the comments. I've got Bart and I've got Charlie. Charlie says Ugarte should be brought, not Zubimendi. And Bart said, do you see the rumours Sancho might join PSG? I think it doesn't make sense for them as they already have an injury-prone ex-Dortmund winger in Dembele that also hasn't fulfilled his potential. Bart, I would agree with that. To be honest, like, you know, I would. I can't see that Sancho deal being true. I know I've gotten the title and we will move on to it at some point later on the show, but to me, that just doesn't seem likely. I just feel like Sancho's wages, if he compares wages to what he's actually contributed on the pitch for us and what he contributed on the pitch for Dortmund last year, it's not a good investment. And I think a lot of clubs will stay clear of that. But look, we do have some other interesting topics coming up as well. Just in terms of the poll, I can see we've almost got 30 votes on that so far. Thanks very much for voting. If you haven't already, guys, make sure let me know what you guys are thinking for that DMs kind of signing. We've got Ugarte on 55%, Zubimendi 24%, 14% for Fofana, and 7% are going to go for other. And Bart said, I think the midfield issue is twofold. One player should be a good ball carrier, tall, young, and spray, and the other should be a ball winner, break-up play. Yeah, Joe, I wouldn't really disagree with that. I think, like, from watching us in the first two pre-season matches, it looks like we've switched back to a double pivot instead of the two attacking number 8. I think that might suit us better. I would assume then that you're going to have Kobbie Manu and somebody else, with Bruno Fernandes ahead of them or Mason Mount ahead of them. I think that's probably your options there. So I do think you need a break-up player. I think you need someone who can help us move through the thirds as well, ideally. But to me, the first thing that we really need is someone who's going to hold that position, someone who's going to win their headers, someone who's going to win their tackles, be disciplined, and provide that platform and provide that base to build up. If we do go for Zubimendi, he has all that in his locker. Plus, he can take the ball off the defence and move it through the thirds. And progression through our thirds has been something we've kind of struggled with throughout the last couple of seasons, is getting the ball from defence to midfield into attack in an orderly fashion, not launching it long, not having to take 5, 6, 7 passes to work our way up the pitch. We should be able to play those line breaking passes, and you do kind of get that there from like Lisandro Martinez, for instance, a player capable of doing it. But I think you want more players in there as well, to be honest. Bart said PSG are not the same dysfunctional club they were during the first dozen years of Qatari owned. Under Enrique and Campos, they're signing players with high ceiling. Yeah, look, they seem to be doing their thing. It does kind of feel like they're trying to do what and replicate the strategy, I guess, of Real Madrid. In some ways, and perhaps that's a pretty prudent decision, because obviously Madrid have been very, very good in the recent transfer windows. Their record speaks for itself, and they're seriously doing some impressive stuff. So maybe PSG are not quite the club that go out there and spend lots of money on Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, going and bringing in Lavezzi and Cavani and Zlatan, and throwing money around for the sake of it. They do seem to be a more disciplined recruitment machine now, working on getting good players in at the right prices, getting the smart deals done that they need to get done and stuff. But it's one of those ones. Charlie said Ugarte is dynamite that'll cut out attacks. We need that. He's a Kante type. Forget about winning the aerial balls. I can't really forget about winning the aerial balls, because it's so key, in terms of stopping other teams attacking and stopping other teams playing through us. Fundamentally, if you're going to press the ball, then you're going to invite those high balls and you're going to invite those high passes onto you. And, that's something that we need to be careful of and wary of. If we do press the ball, the natural way to get over the press is to play over the top of it. And in that case, you need someone to win our headers. I think we need less of a Kante type. I think, genuinely, if we could go back and clone the Man Utd from like 27, 28 years old, that's the exact kind of player I'd like to see in there. But that's just my thoughts. Everybody's got different thoughts as well. But that would be my preference, I guess. Charlie says, I've seen Charlie's. Bart is also saying Richard Rio's deal looks interesting. Young player, 20 million isn't much. Good at carrying the ball. Yeah, we could do that there, absolutely. We got Red Devil Fanatic down there. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining in with us. But yeah, some interesting stories here coming out. I guess we've one regarding right back, which might be a spot that we might be looking at or potentially thinking of recruiting in. And some of them are kind of interesting. Look, we know Wan-Bissaka is a player who might leave us in this window. There's been talk of West Ham coming in. 15 to 20 million was kind of what United were looking. They were kind of offering around 10, 12 million. You would imagine they'll probably made around 15 million. I think that's probably a fair estimation of where that deal might end up. But according to Political, he has been pretty reliable. German source, of course. Manchester United are considering replacing Wan-Bissaka with Nusir Mazraoui. They have lowered their asking price to him for 10 million, with West Ham pushing for a deal should they fail to land Mazraoui himself. Mazraoui is allowed to leave Bayern. Their original valuation of 30 million has dropped to 20 million. A realistic price Manchester United feel will be 15 to 20 million guaranteed. He would be key on a move to the Premier League. I think he's a pretty good player in terms of his in-ball quality. Obviously, it hasn't quite worked out for him at Bayern Munich. I guess you might test. You might put that down to Bayern occasionally playing back threes, or Joshua Kimmich now seemingly starting to pick up in those right back areas as well, after seemingly having been pushed out of midfield a little bit. But I think it's a decent player. It's the kind of deal I can see happening if we want a right back, and we got one there, 15 to 20 million euros. Erik ten Hag has worked with him before, which seems to be a very important decision maker in terms of what we do with our signings. But yeah, look, I'm not too bothered either way. But yeah, I think he's a decent player. I think he's got some talent and some ability, and he mightn't be a bad signing for us, on the whole. I've got Jed in there. We need Fofana and a DM, so it's not a thing of one or the other. Yeah, look, I guess you can make that argument that Fofana would be a different type of player, and he would. There's 3 players listed there. We got Ugarte, we got Zubimendi, we have Fofana. You could argue very easily that they're all different players. And out of the three, I would probably only put Zubimendi in as a six. Like, I don't think Ugarte is necessarily a six either. Not in the mold that we might think of, or that we might want, or that we might originally have thought about when we were talking about him. I don't know. It kind of feels like whenever we would put Fred there, for instance, that yeah, he can maybe do it, but like it's not the best skill set either. But it's one of those ones. Red Devil, Richard Rios is bang average. Joe, I've seen stories today that this guy's not even going to come to us. Like this, it looked to be a deal that popped up overnight and is dead by the morning. I think it's one of these deals that comes out of like Brazilian press, and because we're not as familiar with him, it's very easy for us to say, is this true? Whenever we get stories from reporters that we're not too sure about, that we haven't seen before, it's one of these ones. It's like if we seen the Sun were saying that Avram Glazer is going to start himself up front next season, we wouldn't go believing it. Like we would obviously know it's not going to be true. But I don't know. Bart said, I noticed the United stream, but Villa are shaping up really well. Onana and Felix got Dobbin from Everton. I see them doing well in the Champions League, but not the league. Yeah, look, they'll do well again this season. I think when you got a goal scorer like Watkins in your team, that's just going to help your base level anyway. They're guaranteed 15 to 20 goals in the league from Watkins next season. So yeah, like that. If he stays fit, of course that is. But that's kind of like floor level signings, and that just is their base level. So yeah, they'll be a threat, and Emery is a good manager, I guess. So it's one of these, it is one of these things, I guess. Jesse Mazraoui's injury record is warning. I don't know about that one. Yeah, I could say that as well. I think regardless, Dallo will be first choice. I think Dallo will be the number one option for us. So whether or not we go Mazraoui as the backup option, because I'm pretty sure he's played left back for Morocco because Hakimi starts at right back. So is that a player maybe who could do both? I don't know. I don't know. I do feel like we might end up going for a player like that. And I think the natural one, obviously, is Ferdi Kalegugu or something like that. He's the guy who plays for Fenerbahce. He was pretty impressive for Turkey at the Euros. I'm really bad with his names, and I know his first name is Ferdi, but that's about it. Anyways, Barda says Zubimendi might go to Arsenal, will suit them a lot. He would, because he would probably go in there and start ahead of Jorginho. I think maybe that could be a replacement. Obviously, they would want Rice on the left-hand side and Odegaard on the right. So that could be a move that they go for. The problem is with Zubimendi, now I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm not 100% sure on this, but he's got a €60 million release clause. I know there is something about La Liga that you have to go and take that there money, and you have to go and put that money straight into the funding of the league, and that's how you get your deals done. So I don't know how amortizing a deal like that would work. I'm not 100% sure, but it's one of those ones. Red Devil says Zubimendi would be perfect character type. Only thing is height and physical. It just depends. Like if he's decent in the air, his tackles are decent. I know he's not the most physical of player, but it's a question of if we do get a second centre back in, if Everton do end up having to sell Brandtwood, for instance, does that there cover you to have maybe a slightly less physical option in number 6 who can offer you a lot more on the ball? I don't know. Bad Time says OMG Hijack. Yeah, there was talk of hijacks earlier. It's on Fofana. United Stand were reporting this one. I seen it literally as I was going live, so I just thought I'd stick it into the title. Let me quickly call out that report anyway. Let's see. Got lots of Dan Ashworth quotes. Got loads of Lenny Euro quotes. That wasn't not quite what I was looking for there. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah, we got it here. So Fabrizio Romano says United do appreciate use of Fofana. Milan would be more in the lead, having agreed personal terms, but nothing is advanced. United do remain interested. That was one that had come out around about 4 o'clock or so, but then there was talk earlier on the day as well that United were definitely going to go in for Fofana. He had basically offered himself to the club or something stupid like that. I'm not too sure. I'll need to get the exact quotes. Let me get the exact quotes up here anyway. Michael's down there. Which way most likely to get out of Zubimendi and Ugarte? It's one of these ones. Zubimendi might be more up front. I think that he would be my preferred option. That's just my opinion. But if PSG want Neves and they need to balance their books in any which way, then I could absolutely see us getting Ugarte. I'm not too sure though. I think we do get one of those types of midfield signings, but it just all depends. Batham said for some reason Fabrizio was tweeted over 4 times United are talking to Olmo. What's that about? Yeah, I think that's under the impression if Kevin De Bruyne leaves. If De Bruyne leaves, City, their replacement they're looking at is Danny Olmo. I think that's the story. Anyway, yeah, it's this guy who is always on United stand and does some journalism work. Says Fofana's camp have been trying to bring him to United for a long time. Told United have inquired lately. A deal could be struck with Monaco for around 18 million euros. Fabrice Hawkins did say this as well. He says Fofana is in talks with AC Milan, a provisional contract agreement. Italians must agree a fee with Monaco. Now, Manchester United are a club that are also remain attentive to the situation of the French international, having approached the club as well. So I'm not too sure. Do we hijack a second deal from AC Milan this year? I don't know. You know, I feel like we kind of took Xerxes right off them, but I'm not too sure about this Fofana one. To be honest, I don't know. I feel like at that price, we probably would have went in for him if we were really keen on him, because that's a pretty good price if we really wanted him. But I'm not too sure, guys. I'm not too sure. Ketty's down there. Good up, buddy. Makes no sense losing Bissaka to get Mazraoui. Weakens the squad right away. I don't know. Like, Wan-Bissaka is one of these players. I don't know if I've got like the time and energy for anymore. I just think like it's been utter stagnation from Wan-Bissaka's point of view. You know, since he joined us, really. And it's unfortunate because, you know, we don't really want to say that. You know, we wanted Wan-Bissaka to be a player worthy of the 45 million spent on him, but he hasn't really, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's kind of harsh. I know it's not really, you know, the opinion that we wanted to have. You know, we want to see our players doing well, but I'm just not sure anymore, guys. Like, and I wish it was. Bathheim said PSG in for Victor Osimhen as well. Yeah, they are, man. I mean, that's going to be a big deal in itself, like, because Napoli do not sell for anything less than what they want. They've just got the strange way of resisting things. You know, you look at Koulibaly, for instance, a player who was constantly linked every single summer to United, to Chelsea, to many other clubs. Never really got the move until he was past his best, and then went to Chelsea for one very, very poor season, and that was it. You know, that was pretty much the levels of it. So yeah, like, Napoli's not a team you want to do business with. You want to get the players before they go theirs. Anyway, look, I got 61 votes in the poll. Anyway, I've been asking you guys what's the thoughts on midfield signings. We've been saying Ugarte 55%, Zubimendi 24%, Fofana 15%, and other is 6%. If anyone is saying other, like, let me know who you guys are thinking of. What options are we considering here? And a bet is down there. I want Ugarte, Fofana, Dani Olmo, Gutierrez, Richard Rios. There's a lot of players, a lot of midfielders. Don't think we're gonna get them all, you know. But I'm confident we'll get one or two of these, to be honest. But I'm not too sure. And Batham said delighted to see we're linked with 5'7" fullbacks today, Vanderson and Frimpong. Nice one. Yeah, look, I've seen those links. I think Mazraoui's got more height though. I think you might appreciate that. He's decent in possession. Let me see, because I'll give you this just for peace of mind, I guess. Nazir Mazraoui is. Do we have a height for this guy? I'm pretty sure he's like 6 foot. Pretty sure he's like 6 foot. Yeah, he is 6 foot on the dot there, Bathheim. So maybe Mazraoui can be your guy. 6 foot tall at fullback. Maybe we'll go with that. Look, guys, I can see 27 likes on the stream here today, so thanks so much for all that. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these midfield signings, though. I think this is going to be where the next investment's coming from. We've done centre back, we've done striker. I think midfield comes next. Then we start to look at some bonus signings. Maybe someone who can cover the fullback areas. Maybe another centre back. Maybe a second midfielder or a wide player. You know, I think that the first 3 positions that we had to do, that we had to go for, and we had to get right, are centre back, centre mid, striker. You know, that strengthens the squad. It strengthens the spine of the team. So it just all depends what we do from here. Big ups to Rajat. Play Euro at DM. He probably do a job there, to be fair. You know, he can probably just be whatever he wants, Lenny. Or like, the guy is looking good. Like, But yeah, look, I want to keep my centre back. I want to keep my centre back for sure. But interesting thoughts. Genuinely can't believe we got 71 votes in the poll, and it's pretty much stayed as it was from the start. The percentages haven't changed. Everybody, the majority want Ugarte, but a decent few are saying Zubimendi be nice. Big ups to Amidens as well. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see everybody joining in tonight as well. Slightly later start time, so I know it's throwing some people off as well. Literally was just waiting for food and it just wasn't here. And then I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to put it back 15 minutes so I can get something to eat before I go on here. But it is what it is. Not too much we can do about that there anyway. I will have a quick check for a couple of other stories because a few things I did want to check out. I guess just as we are going along here. Min said, I think United preparing 100 million bid for Xavi Simons. I can't say I've been right. I would say there's probably interest. I would say there's probably like a willingness from us to go after a player like Simons, but I just can't say it. I just don't know if I see it, guys. Like, and it's no knock on him. It's just I think we maybe need other positions more. But he is a versatile player, really, really good. But I can't see us banning him permanently. I feel like if he goes on loan, it might be back to Germany. That's just gut feeling, though. That's just gut feeling. Maybe he wants something different and a different type of challenge. But who knows? Who knows? Anything can happen in this game. I think that's something we have learned watching United in the last couple of seasons. And yeah, look, I think it's something just to keep an eye out on as well. But yeah, look, there was a few other things I wanted to go through real quick. Obviously, look, we've looked at the Fofana deal. And potential move. So we have goalkeeper Radek Vitek and Joe Hugel are set to depart United on loan, getting the chance to start in the first part of the preseason tour, which I'm not surprised about. It's like I said, I think it was on the agenda the other night. I said something along the lines of, if you can't find time and space to give these players some minutes, then send them out on loan. A loan move to a League One club is much more beneficial than playing 5 minutes in the Carabao Cup in round 3 against Burton Albion away before playing under 23s football for the rest of the season. That's just the truth in the matter, and it's just one of these things. It's better for their development as a player, and probably gets us better players on the whole as well. Anyway, Romano's been talking. I guess this is one of the key deals that we want to get done. We want to get moved on from is Casemiro. So he says United are more than open to finding a solution to Casemiro. As it stands, there has not been any official offers, but United would not stand in his way should he choose to leave. I think in terms of money still to be paid and in terms of wages, this is a big one. If we move Casemiro off the books, I think that pretty much seals, maybe a second midfield signing. Like I think it is that big of a potential deal and seal. Kelly said Xavi would be a luxury. Yeah, I think he would be a luxury. Amin said Bayern have rejected 35 million for United for De Ligt and want in the region of 42. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they'll come down on it, but I don't know if United's plan is to go in with another bid for Brantwood first and then go back to De Ligt, depending on what happens there. I'm not too sure. But look, just on Xavi Simons, we have Romano saying he will stay in Germany. That is my gut feeling. That is what I'm hearing within the agency. It looks like he's going back there. For players like McTominay, Maguire and Lindelof, United are not actively looking to sell, but any offer would be considered. I think that's expected. And he says in terms of Wan-Bissaka, there has not been any bid yet from West Ham. The appreciation is there. They are certainly interested in the player. He is evaluating his options. So, yeah. Rajat said, don't shine Xavi, keep Casemiro. Man, is that a troll? Is that a troll comment there from Rajat? Nah. Not for me. Not for me. I just think Casemiro was past it at this point. I think last season was just hard to watch in a lot of ways, and I don't think he really covered himself in glory with the FA Cup final behaviour and stuff as well. But yeah. Anyway, look, Bruno Fernandes, there is nothing in advance of Bruno in any other clubs. If he stays, that a new contract will be a priority for player and club. So I'll assume that means a Bruno contract coming up. And he says there's been no offers from United in Colombian midfielder Richard Rios. In light of South American reports, scouts were sent to the Copa America to watch out for him and other players, though, but nothing official. I guess this continues just on this trajectory. We're looking at these guys. I don't know. Like, I don't want to go back to calling it like interested in monitoring FC, but it does happen. It does happen. You will see these links come up, and sometimes nothing ever becomes of them. But on Zubimendi, Romano said this: many clubs, including United, are interested in Martin Zubimendi. Real Sociedad will not accept any bids less than his €60 million release clause. So it's either pay that up front or try to negotiate a deal like we did with Xerxes, where we pay slightly more but on better terms. I don't know if that's what we're going to do. But in terms of Ugarte, United are definitely not going to spend crazy money on the player. Definitely not the €70 million wanted by PSG. United value the player just over half that. So United's valuation is about €40 million there for Ugarte. Mike's down there for Casemiro. We might be able to get Ugarte or Zubimendi. No, exactly. Like, you think of wage and you think of how much transfer we still have to pay off. It's a lot of player. It's a lot of outgoings, and that's a big potential sale that we need to make. Really important in terms of our overall window, I guess. So yeah, look, to me, I think we do need to move him on. Rajad said, can United sign Amrabat on another DM? They probably could. There was a story came out this morning and it said along the lines of United would talk again to Amrabat, but they're not going to pay the money that they agreed last season to Fiorentina. They would rather renegotiate. Christian said, is there no way we want to swap Sancho for Ugarte? I'm not too sure, but I think it just all depends on what happens in terms of your PSG, because look, the ball will be in their court. Sancho would have to want to go there. It seems a hard deal to do, but we'll wait and see. I've got Matt and Lisa Smallwood. Any news on Obi Martin? Yeah, I think this is the young guy from Arsenal, 16-year-old. He's very highly rated. I think there was something new about that today, because over the weekend we had some stories come out saying that United has signed this guy, but we haven't actually got it done. Romano says United are trying to close the deal in person to get it done as quickly as possible. He will make his final decision in the next couple of days after visiting several clubs. It's considered imminent, but I'm not too sure. Look, we haven't really seen too much more maybe today on that there one, but let me see. There's a guy I follow on Twitter. He's usually really good for academy news. I wonder if we've got him. I wonder if he's got anything on it. Where is Academy Scoop? There he is. And Bart said, did United message not advertising for players on LinkedIn? Maybe that's what we've got to do. Omar Barad is present on LinkedIn, so maybe there's it. Yeah, so his exclusive, I guess, from the 20th, so that's 2 days ago. Exclusive story continued. United are interested in Danish striker Chido Obi Martin. Discussions are in an early stage. He visited Carrington on Tuesday. Contrary to rumours, no agreement has yet been found, nor has a decision been made by the player. But it does look like United are certainly in for him. We've got Romano clarifying it. We've got David Ornstein clarifying it. So I would say we're playing the waiting game on that guy. But, you know, it looks like the kind of deal you want to get done. It looks like the kind of player you want to bring in and develop. So we'll find out. We'll find out how that one goes and plays over the next couple of weeks. It should be done, I would say, by the end of the week. We'll know one way or another if he's coming, if he's not going, or whatever's going to happen. Look, guys, I got 94 votes in the poll. 55% are saying Ugarte. We have 30% for Zubimendi, 11% for Fofana, and 4% saying that they would go for another one as well. We got 30 likes in the stream. Look, guys, I think we're just going to leave the stream here for today, but you guys can catch me again tomorrow. Should be on at the same time, around 7 o'clock. So have a good Monday night, guys. Have a good Tuesday, whatever you guys are up to, and I'll talk to everybody tomorrow.